Hey folks, welcome to this week's episode of Tell It Like It Is Tuesday. I thought we'd have a little fun this week. I want to share some crazy, maybe shocking, maybe hilarious stories with you of things that myself and actually my daughter, who's also a realtor, things that we've seen, been a part of, heard, super crazy. Hey Rachel, thanks for joining. If you're joining in or if you're watching it later, please give me a thumbs up, give me a heart. Love the purple hearts in the columns. Just let me know that you're there. That would be great. If you don't know, my name is Dawna Cantway and I'm a broker associate with Rise Realty. I come to you from different places a lot of times, and tonight, because I'm doing this like fun thing, I wanted to come to you from one of my favorite rooms in the house, and it's the grandkids room. Behind me, you can see a ton of pictures, and it's a very fun room. They love it. I love it. I'm super blessed. My husband and I have an amazing family. Okay, all right. I don't know where that came from, but hey, there you go. Okay, so I made a list because there's 6 stories that I want to share with you tonight that I think, again, share with me in the comments. As I share the stories, you put in the comments like your reaction in an emoticon, however you say that word. Just share it. Okay, so the first one I'm going to call Squatter with Dogs. Okay? So I get this listing, and my husband, Bob, joined me on this one. So we go to see this house for the first time. It's a listing. Nobody's supposed to be living there, and it's actually part of a trust. And so a trustee hired me to list the house. So we pull up in this driveway, and we hear, like, I don't even know. I mean, it sounded like 50 dogs. I don't know if there was that many there or not, but it sounded like 50 dogs. And so we were like, oh my gosh, is somebody still living here? What's going on? So I checked my records. Hey, Daniel, thanks for tuning in. I checked my records, and sure enough, it was supposed to be vacant. So we immediately pulled out, started knocking on neighbors' doors, and finally get the story that the ex-girlfriend of the person that was foreclosed on moved back in the house after it was vacated. Yes, squatter with dogs, a lot of them. That was crazy. That was long story. I can get into all that later, but just to let you know how that ended up, the trustee literally had to go through an eviction process. Crazy. Okay, second story, squatter number 2. Now this one's really interesting. So again, vacant home. Sorry about that interruption. Who would be, a squatter in a place if it wasn't vacant, right? That's kind of a no-brainer. So it's a little farm. And it's a adult daughter and her dad, and I'm helping them look for homes. He's helping his daughter buy her first home. So we're looking and we're walking around. We've been in the house. We looked all around the house, and they're outside walking. There's a couple of sheds, and then there's a barn. She wanders off in the barn because she has horses, and that's really important to her. And so her dad and I are walking around the sheds. Well, this one shed had a deadbolt on the door on the outside, but it had a extension cord running in the door and a fan on inside and a pile of blankets in the middle of the floor of the shed, right? And the windows were cracked. So it was kind of odd, but we're walking around, whatever, and then the gentleman that I was helping, he goes, Donna, like there's a whole bag of trash right here. Like, hey Karen, thanks for joining. It's a whole bag of trash, and it's like, it's current trash. Like there was a pizza box in there. There was tin cans. There was soda cans. So, just like stuff like that. Okay. And so then in a minute, like he's peeking through the window and he was like, Dawna. And I wasn't looking at him. So again, he's like, Dawna. And I turn, I look at him and he does this. And he's pointing at the window in the shed. And he's like, there's somebody in there. Yeah, for real. And so I walk over and I look in the window and sure enough, I see the blankets moving. And so we left, obviously. I called the listing agent. I went to the end of the driveway. It was kind of a long driveway. I went to the end of the driveway, called the listing agent. She in turn called the cops. By the time they got there, like 15 minutes later, whoever was in that shed got out of that shed and hightailed it out of there. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Okay, so at the time that he and I are figuring out that there's somebody under this pile of blankets in the shed, the adult daughter that was wandering around the barn, she was like, yelled out, hey, somebody's been using this stall as a bathroom and it's not an animal. Ah! Okay, if you're just joining to hear all these crazy stories, please let me know by putting a comment or a little emoticon in the comments what you think about these. Okay, moving right along. This is a story that happened to my daughter, who is the most amazing realtor in Jacksonville, Florida. So if you're looking there, let me know. I'll set you up with her. Okay, so she is, and I might not have all these details exact, but close enough. So she's standing outside. She's showing a house, or was getting ready to show a house. A neighbor was walking their dog. And so he comes up and they're all standing there talking, right? And all of a sudden, Erica's leg starts getting warm. Yep, you got it. The dog peed on her leg while she's standing there talking with the buyers and the neighbor to this house. And she said she was just kind of like, your dog just peed on me. And then went and found a water hose and kept it cool. I'm so impressed. I probably would have been completely disgusted with that one. All right, here's one for you. I'm showing a condo. It's empty. And it has a screened porch on the back. So we open the door and there's this overwhelming odor, just like, ugh, it was gross. And we hear this squeak, 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 squeak noise. That's the only way I can make it sound close. And so the young man, he's like, what is that smell? Wait a minute. I know that smell. That's bat poop. Bat poop? Yeah, no joke. I look up and there's a bat on the wall that the sliding glass door is on, and it's just stuck to the wall looking at us. Get out of here, this is my house. And then you hear a whole bunch of little ones and other bats like moving around up in the ceiling of the screen porch, and the floor is covered. I'm talking 1/4 inch covered bat poop. There was a bunch of bats living in this screened enclosure. I'm telling you. Wow. Okay, here's another one from Erica. This one's kind of funny. So she meets for the first time these new buyers. It's a young adult and her parents, again, helping their daughter find a home, right? And first time Erica met with them, and so Erica goes, tenants were living there on this one. And so she goes, she knocks on the door, and they wait, and when the door opens, she said literally a billow of smoke poured out of the door. Nothing was burning. Literally marijuana smoke pours out of the front door. And so she just kind of like looks at the buyers and says, do you still want to see the house? So they did. So they go in and they're walking around and they go, I believe it was a 2-story. Anyway, they get to the master bedroom and they walk in and there's a woman in the bed. And she's like, oh, come on in, don't mind me, look around. And so Erica's like walking through, showing them this bedroom with this woman laying in the bed with marijuana smoke everywhere. I can't even imagine. I cannot even imagine. But they got through that. A few years ago, there was on American Idol, you know how they used to have all the crazy songs and the crazy contestants, whatever, if you're an American Idol fan. And they had this guy that came on and he had wrote this song called Pants on the Ground. Yep. Okay, you ready for this one? This is going to be the last one for tonight, but get ready. So I'm showing a home that is occupied, but they weren't supposed to be there. Literally on our way to the house, I text the agent and said, we're 5 minutes away. Are the owners still there? She responded, nope, they have left. Okay, great. Great. So I go and I get the key out of the lockbox and I open the door. And when I open the door, there's straight in front of me is the living room area. And there's a man sitting in a recliner and he jumps up and he's like totally startled. And of course I'm startled and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was told that you were gone. And he's like, oh gosh, what time is it? What time is it? And sometimes like, oh man, I fell asleep. You know, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, that's okay. We can come back. You know, it's okay. And he's like, no, come on in, come on in. So we're like, okay, all right. I'm with a mom, dad, 2 little ones under the age of probably 11, somewhere around in there. And so we're going through the house and we'd already looked at like 3 vacant homes. So the kids were kind of used to running in and, you know, looking around by themselves, whatever. And so I'm like, okay, guys, let's all stay together and be respectful. And so we're walking through the house and we start heading towards the master bedroom. And about that time, another gentleman comes out of the master bedroom and his hair is kind of ruffled and, you know, so you can tell he probably had fallen asleep also. And so he stops, meets us like in the hallway. The mom, dad, 2 kids are behind me or beside me. Everybody can see, of course. And the man stops and he was like, hi. And then his pants fall to the ground. Literally. I can't make this stuff up. I'm telling you, I can't make it up. So his pants fall. Fortunately, thank you God, he had underpants on, but he was so embarrassed and I was embarrassed and I turn and I look at the kids and their eyes are like this and they're looking up at their parents and their parents are like, shh. And we never spoke about it again. So yes, I'm telling you, it's a fun, interesting job all the time because we see and hear some crazy, crazy stuff. I hope you guys have enjoyed tonight's Tell It Like It Is Tuesday. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you're a realtor or if you bought a house or if you have any crazy stories like this, share them in the comment. It's fun. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday weekend and we'll see you next week.